Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 2nd August 2024. So let's get started with our discussion. And here I am taking daily edition of Hindu, so whichever edition you are having you can go through that. There will be no problem with changing of edition. So this is the front page. So in this front page there is one news. It is about Swapnil guns down, third shooting medal for India. So India got third medal in this Paris Olympics. So if you are preparing for other competitive examinations like SSC or RRB or any other bank examinations, yes, you will be getting questions from that area of sports. But in UPSC, there is a very less chance of getting that. So because of that, I am not discussing sports related current affairs in this class. And next important topic here is states can subclassify schedule caste for quotas, says top quote. And this is a very important article of today's newspaper and you have to know. And I am going to provide a detailed video of what is this quota and what is subclassification and whatever the court case is. Actually this case which is going from 1975 onwards and finally we got judgment in 2024. That means it is around 50 years of case. Okay, so you have to know that. And here this case it is regarding AP and as well as Punjab government. And I will be discussing each and every area how this case had been came up from 1975 until today. And finally we got the final judgment of the sub classification of essays. So let us see this. Actually this article is very important from our examination point of view. So the keyword is sub classification. Keyword is sub-classification of scheduled castes and as well as scheduled tribes. So I think you have heard about this word OBCs, other backward classes. And even if you are applying for UPSC examination, if you are selecting this OBC category, they will be saying whether you will be coming under creamy layer or non-creamy layer. Yes or no? So this is also regarding creamy layer or non-creamy layer to understand in the layman terms. So normally what happened here is if you see this caste, that is scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, so we'll be saying entirely as one caste. So we are not discriminating based on the things here. For example, in OBC based on the income, we are discriminating, that is either you will be coming under creamy layer or non-creamy layer based on your annual income. So actually what happened here is Punjab government came up with act. So in that act they came up with sub-classification of this STs. Okay, SCs and STs. So there they divide into two classifications, 1 and 2. So under this there are only two groups of people. Okay, and they will be getting the first priority of this first group in reservation. And after this reservation is given for this first category, so the remaining percentage will be given to the second category of SCs. And in the same way, actually this act came up in year 1975. In the same way, AP government also came up with this kind of legislation. So that law went into Supreme Court and Supreme Court said that no, we should not go for sub-classification in this SCs and as well as STs. And that case is E.V. Chinnaya case. E.V. Chinnaya versus State of AP case. So in that case, Supreme Court said that no, you should not go for sub-classification at all, because in same caste group, if you are going for sub-classification, that will be affecting Article 14 that talks about right to equality. So in the same group, whenever we are going for discrimination, it leads to violation of Article 14. So because of that, we should not go for any sub-classification. So that what happened? The act of AP had been struck down by Supreme Court. And later on, finally in 2004 also, they went for reconsideration of judgment of E.V. Chinnaya. And finally, in that 2004 case also Supreme Court said that no, we should not go for any sub-classification. And after that, from 2004 onwards, there will be going on the cases itself. But finally, the judgment came up in 2024. It said that no, we can go for sub-classification, because here they are saying that we have Article 60 which comes under right to equality itself, but it said that only whenever there is inadequate representation of people in that so and so education or the jobs, so they can be provided reservation, and it's not saying equally. The word equally is not mentioned. That means each and every people who belong into this ST, they should be given support, right? So that is the thing which mainly said. And apart from that, even Article 341 is there and Article 342 also discussed there. So what this Article 341 says that it is the power of president only to decide who can come under which caste. Okay. So because of that, this 2004 Supreme Court judgment is saying that yes, it is a power of president. That is Article 341 gives the power to the president to make the list. It is not the power of state government to come up with their own laws. But here if you see Punjab government came up with the subclassification, and here AP government came. That means state government are taking the decision in these two cases. But Supreme Court said that according to Article 341, it is the power of president, it is not the power of state government. So because of that, whatever the acts came up by this Punjab and AP had been stuck down. And now in this 2024 judgment, they are saying this Article 342, and Article 342 is saying that other than this president power, even state have the power to make this list for reservation. Okay. So now the judgment is given based on Article 16 and as well as Article 342. And now the Supreme Court said that it is also the power of states to come up with the sub-classification of the scheduled castes as well as scheduled tribes. So I will be making around 10 to 15 minutes of video separately on this topic so that each and every step you will be getting understand, like from 1975 onwards what happened till 2024, and even I will be making a note on how this sub-classification, this SCs and STs, they are going to have the positive impact and as well as negative impact. So that will be very important from your mains point of view. So as of now, let us see what this article is saying. So that this article is saying that Supreme Court of India ruled 6:1. That means it came up with 7-judge bench. 7-judge constitutional bench had been created, and in this 6:1 majority says that yes, states, they have the power to go for sub-classification of the scheduled caste so that they can provide some preferential treatment in public employment and as well as education. So where we will be getting reservation in education purpose and as well as in employment opportunities. So in this here, now state have the power. Okay, and you can see this topic as one more important subheading in your polity, that is judicial activism. So in recent cases, if you have seen, so after Justice Chandrachud came into this power of CJI, Chief Justice of India, so many a times, in many cases, there is increasing of power for states is seen. So if you are analyzing the cases, for example, in recently also regarding imposing of tax on Mines and Minerals Act, the states is given more power compared to the center. And even now also this judgment is saying that state have the power to come up with sub-classification. So in this way, in judiciary, whenever you are reading in your Lakshmikant, also you will be having this topic of judicial overreach, judicial activism. So there also you can add this kind of articles as a case study, how judicial activism is going on. Okay, and here Chief Justice is saying that sub-categorization is essential for achieving substantive equality, especially when social standing of SC groups varies. So in each and every caste, for say not only scheduled caste or not only scheduled tribes, in each and everywhere, like even OC category also, some people they are rich, some people they are not. So but the allegation here in this case is, in SC also, everyone, if you are getting the equal reservation despite of their income, so the people who are rich and who are having the power, they are getting the more benefits rather than compared to the least. Okay. So because of this, we can go for sub-classification even this SCs and as well as STs. So who really needs the help or who really wants the support from government, they will be getting the support. So this is the meaning of this article. Clear? And if you see the validity of the sub-classification, Supreme Court said that states now can create subcategories within SCs so that not all groups within the caste are equally disadvantaged. That means, so some people will be rich and some people will be poor. So poor people needs the support so that they will be getting exactly the affirmative active policies from the government. And next one is the constitutional requirement. Here you can talk about this article 341 and as well as article 342. You have to make a note of this, because whenever any article which is in news, for example recently article 200 is in news, and now money bill is in news, that is about article 110, and even budget article 112, finance commission article 280, and now article 341 and article 342. So whichever articles are in use, you can get a question on that if you're preparing for any other competitive examinations. So I'm not asking you to remember each and every article in your polity. So only articles which are in at least in use, you have to know that. So you can get a question like article 341 is in use, what it related to. It talks about the president power of subclassification of SCs. Okay, like that. Or else recently Supreme Court gave a judgment on increasing of power of states for subclassification of SCs. So which article it is referring to? So in this way also you can get questions. So they are very direct questions. So if you remember at least those, then you can easily clear those type of questions. Clear? And next one here is creamy layer debate. So creamy layer is nothing but, so the people who are rich and who are earning. Okay, for example in OBC, what is a creamy layer? What is the income limit? Okay, so you have to do research on what is a creamy layer of OBC category and what is the income limit. At least those facts you have to know whether you will be coming under the creamy layer or not, because if you are applying for this examination next year, so that option is there. If you are clicking on OBC means it will be asking whether you will be coming under creamy layer or not. If you say non-creamy layer means again it will be asking your caste certificate and as well as income certificate. Okay. So for that, at least you have to know what is the limit of income to enter into the creamy layer or not. Okay, and they are focusing on real equality. That means who exactly needs the benefits from the government. They want to give or they want to target those people so that the policies came up by the government will be somewhat, okay, that will be helpful for those underprivileged people so that that society can be uplifted. And so this is a thing that you have to know. And here if you go to the other article, here you can see the title CRPF to replace 2 battalions of Assam Rifles in Manipur, plea to review move. So what is the keyword here? Keyword is Assam Rifles here, and next one is CRPF. So where you will be studying this Assam Rifles and CRPF? Yes, tell me. CRPF. On another side we have Assam Rifles. So what happening in this Manipur region? You know, ethnic violence between Metis and as well as Kukis from past 6 months. Before your course had been started itself, it had been started, right? So actually, normally if you're reading about defense, in this defense we have army, we have navy, and we have air force. So apart from this defense forces, we have paramilitary forces. Okay, so we have Central Reserve Police Forces and Central Armored Forces, right? CAPF will be there, CRPF will be there. So it is talking about CRPF. So where you will be reading about this in internal security subject, you will be seeing this. So next we are going to start science and technology from August 6th, right? Yeah, from Tuesday, not from Monday. From Tuesday, a defense officer, he will be coming and he will be taking science and technology, and he will be taking science and technology for 40 to 50 hours every day, 4 hours of classes from 9 to 1:30, and he will be giving you break as usual. And after this I am planning to take this internal security or like ethics. Okay, so internal security will be taken by Sandeep sir, and he is one of the renowned faculty, where you will be enjoying that classes more than Narvila sir, for sure. Okay, So there he will be discussing detailedly like who is the CRPF and where they will be there, and he will be also giving you the notes. So now let us see what is a CRPF only. We are not bothering about what is happening in Manipur because from last 4 to 5 months onwards we are discussing that. It is not at all a new topic. So when the CRPF established, so you will be getting prelims based questions. Actually internal security is for mains only, not for your prelims. But even though you will be getting some facts whenever it is seen in news, so they will be counting that topic from current affairs point of view. So here whatever you are reading, you should not read that. It is only for mains, it is only for prelims. So there will be integrated and you can get questions. Actually, one more example I want to give you. Even you will be thinking that art and ancient and medieval, they are for only prelims, not for your mains. But from art and culture point of view, they will be again asking questions from your ancient as well as medieval. Okay, you should not read isolatedly. So whenever you are reading any subject, you have to read from both prelims and as well as mains point of view. Clear? So here actually the CRPF, when it was came up in year 1939, that means even before we got independence, we had this CRPF which was present during British India time, right? And at that time, why we had that, even before our independence itself, why British Indians, they got this forces to control Indians? Any idea at that time? Any conflict? There were different types of movements like peasant movements, tribal movements. Even at that time we used to have many princely states. So princely states were normally against this Britishers. So to control that princely states itself, at that time our British Indian time, they got this CRPF, and after we got independence in 1947, we renamed that force as Central Reserve Police Force in year 1949. Okay. So whenever you're tracing the evolution of the CRPF, you can see like even before we got independence itself, we have the CRPF. And next one here is, do you know Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel? Who was he? Prime Minister. He's not Prime Minister. Please don't say that thing. So he was Home Minister and he played a very important role. And even for your police academy also we have this name, right? So why? Because he played a very important role in union of our country. At that time there were more than 552 princely states and those had been integrated into Indian Union because of this efforts of this person, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Okay. And at that time, actually, after you complete your modern history, when you enter into your post-independent history, you will be studying this topic of princely states and how these princely states had been integrated into India and with which princely state we have which problem. And actually, at present also, we are having this Jammu and Kashmir problem. So if you trace the problem of why this Jammu and Kashmir is there till now, that will be dates back to this princely state. Actually, it was once princely state. Okay, actually it was ruled by Hindu rural, but actually the people who were there were Muslims at that time. Okay, so there you will be studying about different princely states and what problems we had and which kind of action we took to integrate them into India. That will be very interesting and you have to know that. Okay, so especially because of this princely states problem, even before we got independence, we got this, and after we got independence, we changed this name to Central Reserve Police Force. And actually, the then Home Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he came up with this CRPF and he understood the role of CRPF. And there are different functions of this CRPF actually, and you have to know these functions. There are 9 functions which are given here, and you have to by heart them. So first one is crowd control. So whenever there is any crowd, for example, if there is any Kumbh Mela or anywhere, so we need lot of police forces, especially to stop the stampede. So recently in Hathras, stampede happened, right? So to avoid that things or for the proper crowd management, we want this CRPF. And next one is counter-insurgency. Especially in this Jammu and Kashmir region and this Chhattisgarh region, always there will be insurgency, Naxalism, Maoism. To control that, we need this. And next one is left-wing extremism. It is nothing but Maoism. And next one is VIP security. So for PM also we have what we have SPG. So that we will be using this people not only for Prime Minister but even other people also whenever they are going for any meeting. So they will be taking lots and lots of people as security, right? So for that. And this one is for infrastructure protection, for example, airports. So it is under CISF. And even now, parliamentary building is also under CISF. And next one here is election security. And for environment protection also we are using them. And if there is any disaster, so we have NDRF and SDRF. Apart from that, even we will be taking the CRPF in emergency situations. And also for peacekeeping missions. What are these peacekeeping missions will do is, wherever the regions, if there are conflicts are going on, for example, now Israel-Palestine issue is going on, and even Russia-Ukraine issue is going on. So we have United Nations peacekeeping forces, and India is contributing a lot compared to that of other countries. So India is sending the people for this United Nations peacekeeping forces only. So because of that, in around 3 to 4 days ago, we discussed one article of United Nations Security Council. So the head of UNSC said that we are not going to have any changes in permanent membership status. Can you recall those things? Just 4 to 5 days back. So why India is asking for increasing of that council is, India is also having the eligibility. So India is largest democracy, and India is having the largest populous country, and even India is spending a lot in this United Nations peacekeeping missions. So because of those eligibilities, only India is asking for the permanent membership in United Nations Security Council. So each and everything is connected. So if you clearly understand the current affairs, it will be very easy to crack your UPSC examination. Okay? Yeah, so this is the one article. And in the CRPF, we have some specialized units like Rapid Action Force and Commando Battalion, Resolute Action, that is COBRA. I think you might have heard about this COBRA forces. And next one is we have VIP security wing like SPG, and we have even Mahila battalions. So these are some others in the CRPF itself. Yeah. And if you go to another page, yeah, here you can see article, what early warnings did in Kerala. What early warnings did in Kerala. So what happened in Kerala? Why it is in news? Because of landslides. Okay, how many people died? Many people. So in that, I think 2 days ago we discussed about what is landslides, what are the cause of landslide, what is the impact, everything I said. So now actually it is something interesting. I don't want to criticize any government here, but who is the present Home Minister? Amit Shah. Now sessions are going on, right? Budget sessions are going on, right? So there our Honorable Home Minister, what he did is, so he said that many a times we send early warning system to Kerala, but state government of Kerala is not taking any action. Because of this disaster happened. Understood? So if you see central government, which is the power, BJP, and in Kerala, which statement, which government is in power? Kerala. Kerala is not Congress. So here, this type of issues which go on whenever there are non-BJP ruling states are there. Okay, it is common. So here we are not going to take any political thing here. I don't want to go with that. But here you have to understand what is the importance of this early warning systems. Because in your disaster management, you might have heard about this early warning system. So if you're having effective early warning systems, you will be not having this type of disaster. Even though if it is a disaster, it will not cause that much damage. So now let us see something important in this article. So this article is saying that in Parliament, our Home Minister claimed that Kerala received multiple early warnings about heavy rainfall prior to this Wayanad landslide. So before even this landslide occurred, so many a times we sent multiple early warnings about there might be heavy rain. So who will give the early warnings? IMD. Apart from that, INCOIS. So INCOIS and IMD, both they will be giving this early warning to the states based on the cyclones or based on the rainfall, and even they will track how these monsoon winds are moving as well, and based on that we can understand which region will be getting rainfall. So here this article is saying that however discrepancies arose regarding the specifics and clarity of those warnings with Kerala Chief Minister disputing the effectiveness of forecast. Yes, you might have sent the forecast, but what is the use of that forecast? So again, there is some issue which is going on. We are not going to see that political issue. So this article is saying that IMD issued alerts, but some key information was not publicly accessible. So even that is giving information exactly which location and how many centimeters of rainfall, there is no particular information which is accessible in the public website. So because of this, there is a concern about the communication. So there is misproper communication which happened between IMD and as well as states. That is led to this landslides and as well as floods. So even though we have proper early warning system, we need to have proper communication with the states, and even we need to provide the awareness to the people. So even if state government is getting warning, but if it is not sending the information to the local people who are vulnerable, whether it is useful? No. So whenever you are writing any answer regarding early warning system and its importance, you should say that not only early warning system, but even special communicable, especially we need to have a proper communicable channels between the government, between the authorities, and as well as the people. And this article is saying that Amit Shah's statements about early warning showed inconsistency with IMD's actual communications, which led to saying that there is gap between government claims and as well as whatever the real-time data which is available in that website. And this one is even there are challenges in this people awareness or public awareness. So they are not getting the proper awareness about what is going on, and there is lack of communication strategies. So if you are having a proper communication strategies, we can at least decrease the risk. And this one is even there is debate which is going on regarding forecast accuracy. So central government is saying that we are sending the signals or awareness or early warning system, but states are not accepting about the accuracy. We don't know whether it is correct or not. Okay, so that is the issue which is going on. And now this article is saying that finally, even though we are having this early warning system, they are not much effective and there is nothing like much 100% accuracy. So we need improved systems. Okay, we need improved system, and that too we have to ensure timely and actionable information reaches the local authorities. Not only getting the information to state government is important, but even it should reach the local area where that so and so area is vulnerable. And next one is we have to learn from history. Okay, that means which area is under vulnerable earlier every monsoon. In every monsoon you will be getting this type of landslides and mudslides in this region. Okay, you have to understand in which areas they got and what type of plants they had been taken, or else how they have to go for rescue and rehabilitation. Okay, and even we have a national monsoon mission. So you have to focus on this. Whenever you are writing an answer regarding monsoon or prediction of monsoon, you have to add about this national monsoon mission for sure. And even in disaster management also. So it is focusing on India's weather prediction capabilities. Okay, and not only that, whatever the agencies are there, between the agencies also there is a need of proper cooperation as well as coordination. And if you see about this National Monsoon Mission, it is initiative of Government of India and was launched in 2012, which comes under Ministry of Earth Sciences. So when you are talking about weather or any climate related thing, that will come under for sure Ministry of Earth Sciences. So if you are getting any app or any portal which is talking about climate or weather, that will come under which ministry? Ministry of Earth Sciences. So in this way also you can get question like National Monsoon Mission, which is initiative of Government of India, comes under which ministry? Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Ministry of Earth Sciences, or Ministry of Environment. So in this way also you can get confused statements, and that ABCD at least two will be like alike. Okay, so you should be very much careful with that. And this mission, which aims to improve forecasting of monsoons and also related weather phenomena, so that we can have some advanced models and as well as research regarding this weather. And if you see the objectives of this National Monsoon Mission is, first one is to improve seasonal and as well as intra-seasonal forecasting. So we can have proper forecast, like which areas they will be getting rainfall and which areas they will be getting deficient rainfall, or which areas they will be getting drought. So we will be having seasonal as well as intra-seasonal forecasting. and we can have a state-of-art dynamic production system. And next one is we can focus on capacity building and as well as research. Okay, yeah. And if you move on to editorial page, so here there is one article. It is regarding a verdict on money bill that India awaits. So from how many days we are discussing this topic? No idea, ma'am. Very good. From how many days? So I said like Aadhaar bill, finance bill, and Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which had been passed by the government as a money bill so that they can bypass Rajya Sabha, right? So did I explain those topics? Yes or no? Yeah, which article talks about this money bill? Don't ask, please. Yes, 110. Yes, tell me what is the power of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha in case of money bill? I gave you a number of questions, practice questions also. Only Lok Sabha is having more power compared to that of Rajya Sabha. So tell me what are the special powers of Lok Sabha? Money bill can be placed only in Lok Sabha. Next, there is no point of joint sitting between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha if there is any disagreement. Next, what can do Rajya Sabha? Rajya Sabha can just delay this bill for 14 days. It can't do, yeah. Yeah, even president has to give assent because that bill will be presented in the house, because before placing itself it will be getting prior permission from president, so that president have the power only to give the assent. Okay, so these are the some things that you have to remember. And let us see what is this article is saying. So a 7-judge bench of India Supreme Court, it will be taking this case of money bills, and they will be giving exactly what is the definition and what are the implications of money bill after this 2019 case, which is questioning about Finance Act of 2017, which has been passed as a money bill. Okay, now again we are going to have one historical landmark Supreme Court judgment this year, and whenever you are getting this type of judgments, then you can get prelims questions directly. So whenever this 2017 judgment of privacy was in news, so from 2018, 19 and even in 2024 also there was question on this right to privacy comes under which article, same question. So Supreme Court judgments are important for your prelims, and even those judgments you can get directly the questions from mains, and even you will be getting ethics case studies also. And wherever you are writing that topic, you can quote this case name so that it will be adding value to your answer. So these are the advantages of this court cases. Okay, don't feel that they are burden. So whenever you are having a right teacher who explains all these cases, then you can easily understand them. Okay. Yeah, so I will be making separate videos today regarding that SC, okay, subclassification of SCs and as well as STs. So I will be taking from 1975 onwards, what happened in 2000, what happened in 2004, what happened in 2020, and what happened in 2024. Okay, so here now 7 judgment is going to take this question of why this Finance Act of 2017 had been passed as a money bill rather than a finance bill. Okay, so this act was challenged for the making extensive changes to tribunal functions without Rajya Sabha approval. So for this money bill, so Rajya Sabha approval didn't give, but even though this bill had been passed because it had been placed as a money bill. So who will decide whether it is a money bill or not? Who will decide? Who is the deciding authority? Yes, speaker will be deciding. Okay. So you should not confuse like that. So that is the confusion you will be getting. So now whenever you are reading polity, you will be feeling, yes, polity is very easy. Yes, I know 100%, I can do any question. But once you start practicing questions, you will be getting doubt whether it is speaker or governor, whether it is prime minister or president, whether 3 years or 5 years, 63 years or 64 years. Like that, you will be getting lots and lots of doubts. So if you don't want that doubts will be there in your paper, means you have to do repeated revisions of at least 5 to 10 times before you go to an examination hall. Because polity, you will be getting direct and very easy questions. So if you have a conceptual clarity, You can do them, and even every year you will be getting minimum 15 questions to 20 questions every year from polity. So if you're preparing geography, environment, polity, and next one is economy, in these 4 subjects only you can easily clear your prelims. If you get 45 to 50% of marks in your prelims, you can do that. So these are the 4 major chunks for your prelims. So if you have any fear of prelims, then you have to focus on these 4 subjects. And even in history also, you will be getting good number of questions from ancient and modern. Only these 2 parts. So if you are perfect, whenever, even if I am asking any questions in your sleep also, if you are in that stage of giving answers, then you can clear this exam. Okay? So this article is saying that, first of all, court want to clarify about what exactly is the money bill and what is the criteria. So in our earlier class, I said what is the criteria of money bill. So when we can decide a money bill, when can we decide a bill as a money bill? So I said about 4 criteria. What is that? When it is talking about what? Taxation. Next, I said about 4 points. How can we decide whether a bill is a money bill or not? So take down the question. So what is the criteria for? What is the criteria for deciding a bill as a money bill? What is the criteria? You have to know these things. On these things only you will be getting questions. Actually, many students, they don't read in this way. Like, what is the criteria? They will blindly follow what is there in the book. But in question, you will be getting this type of statements. So if you are thinking out of the book, then you can get the proper knowledge of what exactly UPSC is expecting from you. So here now court is going to decide what is the criteria to decide a bill as a money bill. So you have to know what is the criteria at present. And next one is you have to know what is this article 1 and subclass 1. And this one is judicial review. So do you know the meaning of judicial review? In your Lakshmikant, there is a chapter of judicial review. What is the meaning of judicial review? Judicial review. Whenever already Supreme Court or any High Court gave the judgment and it will be reviewing its judgment once again, it is called as judicial review. So why we need this judicial review? What is the importance of judicial review? For which clarification? Yes. Take down the question, what is judicial review? And add a note on its significance. What is judicial review? And add a note on its significance. So from tomorrow onwards, I am very free. What is judicial review? And add a note on its significance. From tomorrow onwards, again we will be starting our exercise of giving bundles and bundles of questions. Okay, again the earlier days are going to be started from tomorrow. I am very happy. Huh? You're not happy? Not happy? Okay, next one is, what is this federalism? What is the meaning of federalism? Distribution of parts between center and as well as state is called federalism. So actually, this ruling, it is going to reshape the balance of power between Lok Sabha and as well as Rajya Sabha. Because whenever there is high power which is given to Lok Sabha rather than compared to the Rajya Sabha, then what happens? It will be undermining this federalism. So if this question is taken by Supreme Court and if it is examining the power of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha regarding this money bill, so we can shape our federalism because much power is concentrated in Lok Sabha. For example, if you see the members, in which house the members are more? Rajya Sabha. Very good, students. Okay, Lok Sabha is having more numbers compared to the Rajya Sabha. And which people are directly elected, Lok Sabha people or Rajya Sabha people? Don't you watch any these things like elections or any podcast or news? Rajya Sabha members. Okay, write down the one more question. What is eligibility for Lok Sabha members and Rajya Sabha members? What are the eligibilities? who are eligible to become a Lok Sabha member or Rajya Sabha member. You have to know these basic things, no? Who is our MLA, who is our MP? You'll do that same confusion. You'll get that same confusion exam also. Who is eligible to become Lok Sabha member and Rajya Sabha member? Differences. You have to know this at least. And next one is, do you know about checks and balance? What is a checks and balance? Checks and balance. No idea. So tell me about different organs of government. We have 3, right? What are they? Executive, legislature, judiciary. So what is the function of executive? Function of executive? Implementing of laws. Who will make laws? Legislature will make laws. What judiciary will do? Interpret the laws. Okay, so these 3 organs, they have their proper functions. Then what happens if executive is given more power? What happens if judiciary is given more power? Or what happens if legislature is given more power? So there will be imbalance of governance system, right? So here on these 3 organs we have checks and balances. For example, executive means nothing but the people who are in power, right? For example, Union Council of Ministers and Prime Minister, they will come under executive. And legislature means parliament, right? So whenever parliament is making laws, who will be implementing? These people who are in power, they will be implementing. For example, if these people are having the more power means that should be balanced by other organs. Right? For example, legislature is making laws. So here judiciary will be checking whether this law is according to our constitution or not. If it is according to constitution, it's okay. But if it is not, means judiciary will make it null and void, or it will be saying it is unconstitutional. And even executive is making accountable to legislature. For example, we have 0 hour, we have question hour in the parliament. Like that, the powers of each and every organ is balanced because of we are having checks and balances, right? Okay, that concept will be clearly dealt in your polity classes, don't worry. But as of now, we have to understand, like we are having different organs of government, so they will be having their own power. So not to cross their limits, we have this checks and balances. Okay, so that is the thing. And next one here is about propelling the UK and India story. So can you guess why this UK and India relations is in news? So what happened in India recently? We got new government, elections. In 2024, general elections done, and finally government formed, right, in our country. So in the same way in UK also, new government formed. That means new era of India-UK relations going to start. Understood? So whenever government is changing, then the relations will be also going to change. So whenever you are having Democratic Party into power means we will be having good relations. If Communist Party or any other party is in use means there will be going low on the relations. So this article is talking about India-UK news story. The UK and India are entering into transformative partnership because of electoral successes in these 2 countries. And now they are focusing on free trade agreement. Actually, since 2 decades onwards, we are trying to come up with this free trade agreement between UK and India. But now we are expecting that at least in this new government, we are going to sign this free trade agreement. So why we need this free trade agreement? What is the use? Trade. Trade means imports and as well as exports. So why we need this free trade agreement? Yes. We don't want any barriers like custom duty or anything, so that we can enter into international markets. Whenever we are entering into international markets, then we can increase our trade, so that it will be boosting our economy, boosting our production, boosting our manufacturing sector, whatnot. Everything can be happens if you are having free trade agreements with other countries. And not only we are focusing on only this free trade agreement now, apart from that, we are focusing on security, we are focusing on technology and as well as education as well. So these are some important areas that we are going to talk in this new era of India-UK relations. Okay, now let us see the important points. The first one is, yes, recent electoral victories in both countries, they create a good environment for further strong bilateral relations between India and UK, so that we can have a political stability now, and even we are going to have a long-term economic strategies and as well as projects with UK. And where we are focusing on FTA. So whenever we are having FTA, so we will be having advantages. First one is increasing of trade, next one is increasing of new markets where we can reach, and next one is increasing of trade means increasing of production, so that we can increase the jobs. And whenever our economy is boosting, obviously we will be attracting foreign investments or private investments, right? So when you are writing about free trade agreement, you have to include these 4 to 5 advantages. And next one is, we can also have this R&D opportunities like in different technologies, so that we can get good technology, because UK comes under European country, they will be having advanced technologies. So we can get that advanced technologies so that we can go for development in science and technology. And even we are going for healthcare collaboration, like this partnership will be helpful in malaria vaccine development. And even now we are seeing that there is increasing of malaria cases, dengue cases in India. And next one here is defense manufacturing, like whatever the defense equipment. So do you know some examples of defense equipments? Defense equipments. Rifles, next. Next, aircraft carriers, torpedoes, next, missiles. So next, that subject only, no, you will be enjoying that. Okay, so there are different equipment that we need to safeguard our borders from both on land, on water, and as well as from the air. Okay, so that whatever equipment we need, so we will be getting some advanced technology from even from this UK, so that we can get the good market share in defense, and as well as we can create jobs in this area, and we can also go for technological advancements in these nations. And even whenever we are focusing on education, so many students from India, they are going to abroad, right, to get their masters and to get some jobs. So with this UK also, we can have this mobility agreement, so that we can send more Indian students to there, so that we can get proper education for our students. And not only that, we can also ask these foreign countries to invest in our universities, so that we can go for skill enhancements in our country. So that will be a win-win situation for both those countries. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said. And next topic is contested harvest. So do you have any idea about this genetically modified crops? What is that? Yes. So it is talking about GM crops, and to be specific, it is talking about GM mustard. So GM mustard. So what is this GM? Genetically modified mustard. So what is this mustard? Have you at least saw this mustard in your home? Mustard size? Very small. Mustard, you know about mustard? Black colored seeds will be there. Okay, that is called as mustard. So actually we are going to have the genetic mustard. So from long back, Supreme Court didn't give the permission to grow this genetically modified mustard in India. But finally Supreme Court gave green signal to grow this genetically modified mustard in India. So that many issues are coming into picture, like environment related issues, like ethical issues, etc. Okay. So now let us see this article, and in your science and technology itself, sir will be dealing around 3 to 4 classes on this genetically modified organisms. So there you have to see plants, and there you have to see organisms, because recently 6 months ago, if you are going to the newspaper, you might have learned about from genetically modified pig, heart had been transplanted to human, and he survived for around 21 days. After that he died. That happened in America. So there are lots and lots of advancements that are coming in this genetically modified organisms. So you may get questions regarding this area a lot in this year paper. So you have to know that. So this article is saying that India's Supreme Court delivered a verdict on allowing genetically modified mustard in fields. Okay, after a lengthy debates, currently GM cotton is permitted, and now this mustard is DMH11. So the genetically modification happened in this genes DMH11, and now it is facing a criticism that is like it is herbicide tolerant, potentially it is harming the environment. So actually the problem with this genetically modified plants is, so here they will be introducing this herbicide tolerant variety. Okay, herbicide will be there in that plant itself. So if you are consuming that directly, it will be having impact on our health, right? So it is related to chemicals. Can we take chemicals directly? So why chemicals will be taken? For example, to commit a suicide, they will be taking the chemicals. So indirectly, if this GM mustard is approved means, or else even we have BT brinjal also, that is also herbicide tolerant. So because of the impacts on health, they had been banned. But even we are allowing this herbicide tolerant GM mustard now. So because of this, we will be having health impacts, we will be having environment impacts. So what is the environment impact is, so they will not go for self-pollination. They are not going for self-pollination. So we will be having male plants and female plants separately for that. So that what happens if this is going on means, so even what are the seeds they are coming to the farmer, he cannot use those seeds directly for next plantation. Again, he have to go to company and again he have to bring that seeds and he have to sow in the crop. So that what happened? There will be no promotion of the culture of the seeds. So on around 15 to 20 days back, we discussed one article like tribal people are celebrating seed festival. Yes or no? So there they are promoting their indigenous seeds. But if you are going for this GM modified or genetically modified crops means we are not going to have the celebration of this kind of festival. So that it is also having impact on the culture. So they are not our indigenous, right? So they are technology based, and even what are the seeds you are getting as a produce, so we cannot use for the next generation. They will not even sprout. Okay. So because of this, what happened? There will be problem on our environment. So next generation will be not there. Okay, so this will be dealt clearly by your sir. So this article is saying that genetically modified crops are the plants whose DNA has been altered through genetical engineering techniques to introduce desirable traits. So what is a desirable trait we are introducing here? Herbicide tolerant. And next one is these traits may include resistance to pests, resistant to diseases, or resistant to environmental condition. So even now we are having genetically modified crops for drought resistant rice. So in the drought areas also we can grow that type of varieties. That will be very helpful in the long run, because because of increasing of population, increasing of demand for the food. So we have to ensure food security. For that, we need this kind of varieties so that they can tolerate the environment which is present there. And even do you know this green revolution? Green revolution came up in year 1960s. So because of that only we became now self-sufficient. Food security we are maintaining. But the side effects are we are drawing more amount of water exploitation, soils are becoming saline soils. So in that saline soils, the productivity will be very, very low. So it is having a question on food security of our country. Yes or no? So in that case, we need saline tolerant plants. Do you know MS Swaminathan? Yes? Huh? So actually, he came up with this saline tolerant genes. Okay, so soon we are going to have that type of crops in our country. No. No. And next one here is, unlike the traditional crossbreeding methods, genetic modification allows the direct manipulation of plant genetic material, so that we are having lots and lots of concerns whether it is ethically correct or not. After if you are eating that, so what will be the impact? So we don't have the clear-cut data. So before that, whenever we are not having the proper data, whenever we are implementing this, it will be causing large scale destroy, right? So this is the one important cause of concern, whether we have to implement this or not, but Supreme Court gave the judgment like you can use this. Okay, so what are the benefits of this GM or genetically modification? We can increase the yield so that we can ensure food security, and next we can make pest and disease resistant plants and also herbicide tolerant, for example BT cotton and GM mustard, and we can even enhance nutrient content. For this nutrient content I want to give you one example. Have you heard this golden rice? Golden rice in which movie? In one movie, right? So actually I'm not talking about that golden rice, but in the golden rice they are incorporating vitamin A. Okay, rice will be like lightish brownish color or light orange color rice will be there. Okay, so it will be having very rich vitamin A. So by this genetic engineering also we can increase nutritional content in the crops. And this one is, it will be also having some environment benefits, because whenever we are making this genetically modification, whenever you are incorporating this herbicide intolerance, means there is no need of spraying much pesticides or like herbicides, insecticides. So because of this, to some extent we can save our environment, but there are more negative impacts out there. And the next one is, what are the concerns? Environmental impact. So there is debate on like it is going to affect other species or not. And this one is, there might be impact on biodiversity. And this one is, there are some health concerns. So there is no research data is available regarding what is safety of these plants. And this one is, even there are some economic issues. Whenever this GM seeds are getting patent means, so it will be not affordable for everyone, right? So that is one important thing. And even small scale farmers, if they have to go to purchase every time the seeds, it will be increasing the input cost for the farmers. And this one is, there is also ethical and labeling issues. So there are ethical debates which are going on regarding genetic manipulation. So whenever I am taking ethics classes, I will be dealing this clearly there. So how ethical questions are coming up regarding this biotechnology, genetic engineering, etc. And next one is the relevance of pumped storage projects. So have you gone across this topic anywhere? What is this pumped storage? So what is hydroelectric projects? Hydropower projects? Do you have any idea? Water. From water, how we are generating electricity, that is called as hydroelectricity. So there I said about two important projects types, runoff river projects. Another one. Very good memory. Okay. Sir will come. So this article is saying that pumped storage projects are essential for integrating renewable energy into India's power grid. So actually now we are moving towards transformation from non-renewable to renewable energy. So for that we have solar powers and we have small modular nuclear projects which said in our budget. And apart from that, now we can use this pumped storage projects. It is related to our hydropower. So actually what are these pumped storage projects are nothing but it is focusing on especially energy storage of this hydropower plant and even grid management. They are focusing on two important things. So actually how this projects will be working is by the two methods. So first one is pumping mode. For example, we have one reservoir here and one reservoir here. There are two reservoirs. So one is low reservoir and one is upper reservoir. So for example, if some reservoir is having excess energy or surplus electricity, that will be used to pump water from one reservoir to another reservoir. Okay, so that is the one important thing. So whenever process of pumping is happening, so electric energy into potential energy is converted. And next one here is from one to another, so we can push the water so that by pumping of water from one reservoir to another reservoir, so we can convert the power from electricity to potential energy to electric energy, and we can use in the surplus times and as well as low times. And next one is we can generate power through this method, like whenever upper reservoir is released water, means that will be running the turbines. Okay, I will explain this clearly. So we can use this pumped systems for two types. The first one is we can use this energy to pump the water, and next one is to generate electricity. For example, we have two reservoirs, reservoir 1 and reservoir 2. For example, this reservoir 1 is having excess electricity. So by using this electricity, water from this reservoir, it is pumped to another reservoir. Now we are using here electricity so that we can pumping water from another to another reservoir, so that we can convert it into potential energy when we are having surplus. So whenever we need electricity, means we have to generate electricity. So at that time what happened? We will be releasing the water from this dam or reservoir. So we will be having turbines here. Whenever water is moving, what happens? This turbine will be rotating and they will be generating energy. So here potential energy is converting into electric energy. So in this way, so we can use this pumps to pump water from one reservoir to another reservoir in surplus electricity whenever we are having this. If we are having less electricity, we can generating electricity. So this is the advantage of this type. Okay, so what is advantage? The first one is we can store the energy, and second one is grid stability, and next one is we can support this renewable energy because hydropower which comes under renewable energy, and next one is we can improve the efficacy. Okay, so these are the topics which are important. Have you gone to the paper? No time? Very good. You don't have time only, no? Okay, these are the important topics that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much. And don't forget to like this class and share this class to your friends. And do subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy.